Alright, here we are. Minecraft. I've been very on and off about this game for almost 2 years now. I've heard so many things about it. And since a lot of you guys wanted me to take a look at it, I finally decided to purchase it for myself and see what all the hubbub is about. But how do you even begin to review something like this? I mean, this thing is like the pinnacle of sandbox games, and given the very nature of sandbox games, not to mention the constant updates it receives, there's always something new going on the table, and it's always changing. But to start this video off, we're actually going to be taking a look at survival mode first, but before that, some history. Minecraft is the creation of one Swedish programmer known as Marcus Persson, or Notch as he's called on the internet, I guess. There's no real story or objective in Minecraft, that's pretty much up to the player to decide. So what do you do in this game? Well, you can mine natural resources to craft building materials, weapons, magic, a lot of shit. You can build structures with the stuff you make as a result of crafting, you can hunt animals for food or other things. Look, the point is you can do a lot, and that's not even covering the different modes Minecraft offers. But anyway, we're going to try out survival mode first, so without further ado, let's see what exactly I'm getting myself into here. Alright, since I'm not such an enthusiast with using a keyboard and mouse for controls, they took a bit to get used to, but I managed. I always found the blocky graphical design of Minecraft odd, but its simplicity was also charming to me. Even then, landscapes and such looked pretty nice from far away, really making this world, while a bit barren at points, look welcoming. Much like games like Ocarina of Time, the time of the day slowly shifts. I wandered for too long during the day and I ended up facing the night completely unprepared. I couldn't see shit because I didn't have any source of light. In time, I began to hear unwelcoming noises, and before I knew it, I was being attacked. Zombies, which are nothing to scoff at my condition. It didn't take long for me to die. The game at this point in time was very overwhelming to me, so much to consider, so much to think about. The lack of constant music, not to mention the time constantly shifting, made for a suspenseful experience that horror games wish they could replicate to give me a scare. It was too much for me at first. I needed to lower the difficulty to get myself properly started. There we go. Even with the difficulty toned down, building shelter was an immediate priority as I didn't want to find myself left defenseless again during the night. I was able to salvage building materials by punching dirt or trees enough times. With these, I was able to make shelter. I've grown very fond of the piano pieces that play sporadically throughout the day. It made me momentarily forget that I was building something to help me stay alive. Seriously, the music in this game is very nice. I should look for the soundtrack. There. It wasn't much, but it should have been solid enough to keep zombies away. I just only hope that's all I had to worry about. I discovered how crafting works. Placing certain items in the window caused the player to craft new things out of the block material. I was able to make wooden planks from blocks of wood. With this, I could make a sturdier house that wasn't just a shameless and completely uncreative sandcastle. I was getting a tad impatient. Stuck in my shelter awaiting daylight, I had to make progress. I decided to go out at night. Despite my paranoia, it was all for naught. I didn't encounter any danger, most likely as a result from my lower difficulty, but I began to wonder where I can gather necessary tools for progression. After walking enough, I noticed islands in the distance. I decided to swim out. Okay, well, you're not really swimming, you're just sort of hovering like a boat. I didn't know what those black jellyfish creatures were, but I wasn't about to find out. Fish aren't really biting tonight. Oh, sorry, anyway. At this point, I was beginning to get bored from lack of direction. I wandered for a good 20 minutes in hopes of locating something. Feeling the need to move on, I decided to whip out a Minecraft wiki. According to this, I needed to construct a craft table which allowed me to make mining tools. I needed a pickaxe if I was going to make any more progression. By combining wooden planks, I was able to create a craft table, and in due time I made my first tool, a wooden pickaxe. With this, I was able to harvest stones and coal, and soon after I was able to construct some stone tools such as the stone pickaxe, a sword, a shovel, an axe, and finally a furnace to let me cook or smelt materials. Unfortunately for me, I spent so much time wandering that I forgot where my old house was. Feeling homesick, I decided to make myself a new home. My resources were dwindling a bit, so I searched for some cobblestone. I wasn't exactly a fan of the area, very dark areas would do that to me, but it had plenty of what I needed. Soon I was able to build a new house. It was made of wood. I began to worry a bit though. Dying in survival mode sends you back to your spawn point, and if I were to die now, I'd be sent back to my old house and need to travel all the way back to this much better establishment. Luckily, with a little research, I found out that sleeping in a bed creates a new spawn point, so I didn't have to worry about losing all of that progress. In due time, I slaughtered some defenseless sheep and used the tool to make a bed. Now I could completely ignore the night by sleeping in it. Still, I needed a light source, and thanks to the wiki, I was finally able to make torches. Much better. Another thing I noticed. Crafting items is all about how you place materials on the crafting grid, so it's not just a matter of knowing which materials to bring, but where to place them to make the item in the first place. It was time to explore that cave that had the cobblestone I mined earlier, assuming there was something there to begin with. I wanted to mine some iron to upgrade my weapons. It ran a bit deep, even had some water flowing which sort of hindered my movement. In the end, there was nothing, but I had a feeling this wouldn't be the last cave I would search. Before I knew it, it was getting dark, and I needed to craft more stone tools. They all break after enough use, so you need to keep an eye on that sort of thing. Still no arrow pommet for my summer collection. Oh, sorry, I was getting a little bored, so I switched to Animal Crossing New Leaf. What do you think of my Nintendo collection? I'm still missing Samus's helmet to complete my Metro collection. Okay, I need to get back on track. Today I decided to journey and search for adventure. With the proper tools at my disposal, I thought it was time to look for a village. Seeing as that I was better equipped this time, I decided to change the difficulty back to normal, which meant creatures like skeletons, zombies, and exploding creepers were more rampant. I really didn't want to lose my way, so I decided to make a bunch of torches to mark my path as I searched for new things to discover. The sheer amount of foliage and fauna made it difficult to decide where to place torches, but I had to be careful. Even with this plan, it could be very easy for me to get disoriented and lost. As I placed the last torch, I noticed the sun began to set. I decided to begin heading back. I was able to locate a few of the torches I placed, but I really didn't account for the amount of trees, bushes, and other things in the way. Hunger began to set in, so I decided to hunt a cow for meat to cook later tonight, but like an idiot, I strayed too far from my path, and just like that, I was lost. Darkness soon seeped in, and I found myself taking damage. Skeletons, 2 of them, both with a master's degree in archery. I whipped out my sword and destroyed them as fast as I could, but the damage had been done. Ooh, sorry dude. If that wasn't bad enough, zombies. Not taking any chances, I charged full force. It was oddly satisfying killing these guys in particular, now that I had the proper means to deal with them. Unfortunately, even with victory, I was still lost, and soon after, one last arrow from a skeleton sent me to an early grave. I respawned in my house, but my inventory was wiped out. Everything I crafted was lost. That demoralized the fuck out of me, but I managed to take my anger out on a stray skeleton who somehow wasn't on fire in broad daylight. Survival mode really doesn't fuck around, assuming you're not playing on easy or peaceful difficulty. But then again, I can see how this mode can be appealing for some. Minecraft survival mode has managed to make me scared or tense in a level that any survival horror game wished they could achieve. And that's not even this game's genre. I'm not kidding. The nervous feeling I got when the sun began to set, the occasional strange noises I heard when traveling with no visible source, the fact that no music played for a majority of the day, Minecraft wasn't just a video game to me, it was an experience. And it's something I'm glad I at least gave a shot. If anything, at least I can scratch it off my video game bucket list. Unfortunately, this is where my preference in video games in general began to set in. While I'm happy I was finally able to take some time to experience Minecraft and see what all the hubbub was about, my mind wanted to move on to other things, especially after dying the second time and losing all of my tools. But I didn't want to stop there as of yet. I didn't try out creative mode yet, so I decided to give it a shot. Seeing as I was a big fan of Lego building back in my childhood, I was anticipating the options given to me in this mode. Sure enough, you're given unlimited resources allowing you to build whatever the hell you want. Thing is, the amount of fun you can have in creative mode is all whether or not you have an imagination or not. If you're not of the creative type, then you most likely won't hang around here for very long. I was a bit overwhelmed given the amount of options I had. I could destroy blocks instantly, not have to worry about creatures killing me or starvation. The sky was the limit. I came across this large mountain area that also seemed to sport a natural cave. I immediately went to work. I was never very good at designing houses or castles, but I could do something with a mountain cave. There we go. It's not much, but oh shit. Anyway, it's a start, I suppose. I could literally spend hours on this place, but I have things to do. Other games to review, you know? Minecraft, whether you're playing survival mode or letting your creative juices flow in creative mode, can be a major time sink. We're talking about what's potentially one of the most recreational games in existence. There's so many variables to consider. Tools, building shit, hunting, crafting items with materials, magic. This game is one of the most popular games to Let's Play for a reason. There's so much to do or potentially do in this sort of game. If that wasn't enough, there's the modding community, and goddamn there's a lot of mods. I'd be here all day if I went into this subject, and you have to be a bit tech savvy when it comes to implementing the mods in the first place. If this video is coming across as rather anticlimactic for some, I apologize, but getting the most out of a game like this is whether or not you're into this sort of thing to begin with. Personally, I don't find myself revisiting something like this because I like my video games to have a bit more... how do I put it? I have a limit to how open I like a world to be. When it comes to sandbox games, I'm generally happy enough with the likes of Grand Theft Auto. Believe me, I used to play the shit out of the likes of Vice City or Grand Theft Auto 3 for that matter. I like my video games to have structure, objectives, goals to achieve, rewards to earn, something to look forward to, period. And while these things are technically possible in the world of Minecraft, that's all up to me to create, and I'll be honest, I'm not dedicated enough to this game to even consider that. But the big question here is, could I recommend this to you? Well, if you like building things, farming resources, crafting weapons, and all that jazz, then I absolutely recommend this game to you. It's not as cheap as most indie titles out there, but like I said earlier, this game could offer a tremendous amount of replay value, and given its constant updates, the modding community, and your imagination, Minecraft is something that can possibly last a lifetime. But what if you're not into the genre to begin with? Do I think Minecraft does a good job getting a newbie hooked? I don't really think so. It only took me 3 full days of playing the game before I wanted to switch to something else. Minecraft, especially in survival mode, is not very beginner friendly. Remember, I had to look up a wiki to find out how to actually do shit besides punching wood because nothing in the game itself tells you how to do so. First impressions can be the deciding factor on whether or not you want to continue to see if it gets better or put it down and play something else. Minecraft is a game I'd recommend you do some research on first to see if it's your kind of thing, if this video wasn't solid enough for you. I don't blame you if it's not. I honestly believe I haven't even covered 10% of what's possible in Minecraft. Considering the sheer amount of options and possibilities Minecraft offers, this isn't something that someone can properly review, I believe. Regardless of whether or not I like it or whether I think you should play it or ignore it, the success of Minecraft is quite obvious. As I said earlier in this video, it's one of the most popular games to Let's Play on YouTube. Take the likes of Chimney Swift 11, who, as some of you may know, commissions me to make animations based on his Minecraft adventures. This guy has seen a tremendous amount of success not only thanks to Minecraft, but the things he's able to achieve with the help of his imagination and his supporters, and I'm happy for him. The amount of Minecraft merchandise I see in conventions is mind-blowing. Then again, that shouldn't really surprise me with sales figures towering over 20 million units combined. Most indie developers wish they could reach those kinds of sales figures, but if something so deceptively simple looking as Minecraft can achieve it, I'm sure it must be an inspiration to all indie developers out there. If you're going to give Minecraft a shot, it's best to go with the PC version as it's the version that gets the most attention. I don't know how much love the Xbox Live version gets, but if so many people recommend the PC version to begin with, perhaps the answer is obvious enough. I'm sorry to all those who expected me to go really deep into this game, but the process of going deep would take a lifetime, and given what I do for this channel, in addition to making things like animations or living life in general, I think that would be simply out of the question. I bought this game in the first place to give you guys a video about it, but seeing as Minecraft is no ordinary title, this is one game I simply cannot spend a lot of time on, especially when I wasn't very interested to begin with. But that's just me though. Again, I believe if you enjoy the likes of Minecraft to begin with, it could potentially be one of the best games you've ever played. I'd like to thank you guys for introducing me to a lot of the games I reviewed for this indie showcase. If it weren't for your suggestions, I may have never experienced the likes of Braid, Super Meat Boy, Bastion, Dust, or actually finish off Cave Story. I'm very sorry I wasn't very into Minecraft, but I can tell you what I am interested in, the next marathon, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you probably already know what's coming out, but in case you don't, you'll find out pretty soon. With all that said, I need to go get ready, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching, and take care.